Hello there, my name's Soldier Tom, and welcome to the guide video on each class. Today I'll be going over basic techniques that you can use, whether that's based on the class itself or universal techniques. Firstly, we'll be looking at the assault. As you can see, here's an ammo pack, some C4, which you place by throwing the little arc, but I'll explain that in later. His standard rifle, which is the holograph sight attachment, a laser sight which you can turn on by pressing the trigger at the front. When it comes to your secondary, this is your Glock looking weapon. I believe they call it something else in this game, but I'm not too sure what the names are. I'm pretty sure it's just due to copyright reasons. As you can see, it's a single fire, there's no fully automatic. To eject the magazine, you want to press the B button, sorry, not very used to controls on here. And then put a magazine back in by holding the same index trigger I was talking about to grab the magazine. Oh, it's fast. This is what it looks like. Now you place it in and then you can fire. If you need to fully reload, as you've wasted all your ammo, you'll need to do the same movements. You'll notice the gun's still cocked back. You want to make sure that it cocks forward. You just have to pull it down like that. You may also notice that on the ammo count here it's got 18 bullets. If I was to empty it, place it in, it'll only have 17. Although, if you were to reload it again, you'll notice you'll have 18. When it comes to reloading the assault rifle, you'll first need to either shoot the weapon a couple of times, like so, reload, and then you can go back to firing. If you notice, I've got 17 bullets there, goes down to 1 because it's one in the chamber, and then I can grab another magazine. As you can see, this is what it looks like. I can't see it from my spot, but there we go. And then you put it in, and then you can fire some more. And you'll notice you'll have maximum amount of ammo, like I was talking with the pistol. Do a full reload. You want to waste the ammo, so that there's no... Let's just pretend the magazine's there. Take the magazine out, drop it, put another one in, and then you want to cock this handle back, and then you'll start firing more. You'll notice when you reload, you'll have 30 bullets left. If you do another reload, you'll have 31. Just an extra bullet. Since the bullet stays inside the chamber, it's hard to see on this one. I'll show it with the pistol. If I was to empty the mag, no bullet. You'll see placed on the hand movement. It's a bit hard to see because the glove's a bit big. You angle it in a certain way, you'll be able to see the bullet in there. That's how you know if it's reloaded. Just pull it back a little bit. When it comes to gadgets, here's the C4. This is the arc. You can raise your hand or lower it. If I wanted it placed just there, I would have it down near my legs, essentially. We'll say this is a range of around at least 35. Sorry, not 35. We'll say that this is at least around 10 meters. Right, onto engineer. You'll notice he uses a MP5. This is the little clip, or the little bolt that you have to pull back. You'll see it's just ejected a mag. Sorry, it's ejected a bullet, not a magazine. Full reload looks like this. Hold on, let's do it standard way. I'll get into that reload next, in the universal clip. So, full reload, put the magazine in, pull this handle back, let it go forward, and you'll be able to fire. Or you can just quickly reload, and then fire. So standard reload, full reload. Simple. You've got the dinghy, the Humvee. I'll explain more when it comes to the vehicle video. Let's, for example, say you'll often see the Humvee. We hit it with the rocket. You'll notice it doesn't instantly explode. That's because it's on literally one shot left. You repair by holding the front trigger, the fire button. You'll see the bar going up, you'll get XP. I'm not really too sure if the XP translates into real matches. I don't think they would have it like that, or it could just be an oversight on the devs part. Possible XP grind, I suppose. I wouldn't condone it because it kind of ruins the fun of the game of leveling up and getting new weapons, but different vehicles will have different health. So for example, this will take 2 shots. You do have to wait a moment for it to arm. So if you just notice, I can't spam rockets. That's as fast as I can fire. You'll notice there's these little lines just on this site. Say if I wanted to aim for that building over there, I don't think I'd be able to hit it at this range. Yeah, see how it instantly kind of divots and hits the ground. You want to use the lines to try and test what range it's at. So you level up the line with the crosshair or the iron sight, fire. You'll see that went further, that almost hit it. Maximum line will be this top line. Haven't tested it, but it's probably something like 100 meters, if I had to guess. You could just use the frame bit here. There's another guidance. As you can see, we managed to hit it. Moving on, we're now playing as the medic. You'll see I've got a med kit, which I can throw down and it will automatically heal anyone near it. I've got some defibs, which you have to charge up by rubbing the pedals together. Let's say, for example, there's a guy down here. I'm going to rub the pedals together, and then boop, you have to press both triggers at the same time. You can't just press the fire button trigger. You can't just press the fire button trigger. You have to press both at the same time. Right, we'll now be taking a look at the sniper class, or the Recon class. This is the base sniper that the sniper starts with, or the Recon starts with. Down the scope is a 12 times magnification. These little lines here, just at the bottom, will indicate what distance people are at. You use it to somewhat gauge the reload wise. I'll show you now. Fire, then you have the bolt. I recommend using your dominant hand to bolt, or the hand holding the grip just here, compared to shooting and then bolting this way. As if I was to do it faster, compared to you have a chance of hitting the controller as well if you do it the second way. One more test. So this is using my dominant hand to bolt. As you can see, it's very fast. If I was to shoot using this hand to bolt the rifle, as you can see, you also lose whatever spot you were just aiming at. If I was aiming down sights, bang, I would obscure the view with my left hand, whereas if I was to aim and then bolt, it's less view that's being obscured. Pistol wise, I'm using I think they call it the Barrage, but it's the Beretta M9 if you were to go with its proper name. I've got the iron sights. This is the circle sight, the one you unlock at the end. About 4 shots at 40 meters. Okay, I keep forgetting that you have to eject the mag. So to eject the mag, you want to press the B button and then reload. Or if you're left-handed, you want to press the top button, which is the Y button, to check to make sure it's fully loaded. You can either look at this little symbol here. As you can see, if I don't have it loaded, it greys out. If I have it loaded but not fully cocked, it's still grey. And if I cock it, it will now be yellow. Gadget wise, he's got access to a spawn location, spawner device, redeploy spot. I've forgotten the proper name for it. A bit muddled up. So as you see, let me do it again. You use these two dials. You can use either or hand depending on your preference. Left dial will always be the horizontal. Right dial will always be the vertical. So you can do it very fast, pretty fast at least, and then you'll notice this little hologram pops up and it'll go green to let you know where you can place it. If it's red, you can't place it here. And then if someone on your squad was to spawn in, they'll be able to spawn on this little guy. It can be destroyed by enemies, but teammates won't be able to destroy it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to destroy it. Let me try a grenade. Never mind. Guess that's just gonna go really far. There's no real way to drop it at your feet, huh? There we go. Ta-da! And it won't be destroyed because it's your equipment. Only enemies can destroy it. Now this, you might be wondering what it is. It's a grappling hook. Say if I want to get up there, for example, I'll do that, and then I'll just hold the grip button to use it to either get down from the roof or get up to the roof. It's got a pretty good range. So you can see I can go possibly to that white building if I find a good spot for this. Yeah, let's use the distance one. Hold on. We'll use the meters, see how far it can go. Not too sure why it's red here though. So just below 70 meters at least. It's pretty fast. You can even jump off it. Hold on, I'll try something. Very hard to try and do. Kind of jittering yourself. I'll explain more actually. Let me set this up in a better spot. Use your spot for example. One thing you can do, which I haven't fully tested yet, is let's use my dominant hand. Obviously you're going to use it to get from one place to another, but I believe that increases the speed if you have your hand a bit more forward. Not too sure, that has to be tested. What I was going to show you is the fact that you can probably shoot from here, for example, and then use it, shoot again, use it again, turn direction, go back, go forth. Obviously you'll have really bad accuracy, but at least you won't be getting shot by the enemy team as much compared to trying to strafe on your own. And maybe you can shoot a couple of times, reload, grab it, reposition, then grab again, shoot again, grab, and then shoot to kill. Only issue is that it limits you essentially to your pistol unless you've got a semi-automatic rifle. I don't have one unlocked at the moment, so I'm kind of stuck with the sniper rifle. What you could do is fire. That's not cocked, hold on. You could move, quickly aim and then fire. Move, pocket. Oh, make sure you don't lose the ammo. Fire. Then move. Fire again. Move. Fire. Move. And then fire. Might be a little less accurate from hip fire, but from the looks of it, it's very easy to hit most targets. It's not like Call of Duty, where you have to aim down sights. Now onto the universal tips. These can apply for all classes, and will, for the most part, work. Starting with aim. So there's the standard way to aim. Oh, by the way, this is assuming that you're new to the game. I've decided to take all the attachments off. Aiming wise, as you can see, it follows the end of the iron sights. Although you can cant your aim, canted aim, using your fingers and the gap just here to get a rough estimation as to where the bullets will land. This is more for clearing rooms. If we go up this way, you were to try and clear a room, you'll have your aim canted. Say there's a guy right to my left. I'll be able to see that there's no one there. Make sure I'm fully reloaded. No one's in those corners. Someone's here. So aim. And it'll be easier to kill. If I was to try and clear corners by doing it like this, I'd have to first raise my weapon and then fire. Or at least have it to where I can easily fire. It's possible to hip fire as well, but can't it just gives you more kind of like an iron sight effect? You can see the tip of the fingers is where the bullets will probably land. On to grenades. You have to first pull the pin. This won't instantly blow up in your hand after a few seconds. You have to release this little trigger bit. Once that gets released, then it will start to activate. As of today, whenever this gets posted, it's you aren't able to cook grenades. You can always put the pin back in if you want to put it back in your inventory though, as you can see. Although if you were to throw a grenade, you'd notice this little arch line. The higher your hand is, the further it goes. The lower your hand, the closer it goes. Having it higher is more for distance. As you can see, I'm going to try and hit those two there. Like, possibly damage them. If you noticed, when I'm throwing, I can simply just let go of the grip and it will go forward. There's no need to actually do some sort of throwing gesture like that. You can just instantly throw it. Doesn't matter how you hold it, as long as it's not being blocked. You can see I've got it down to my legs. It'll still go that far. Ignore that first explosion. First, try it again. You see how it goes that far? My hand's down here, goes that far. Oh, and I actually hit someone. Alright, vehicle-wise, you've got transport vehicles, and then you've got AA vehicles, or anti-tank vehicles, depending on which one you use. Those are basically anti-tank, even though they are tanks themselves. These are AA-based vehicles, so you notice these quad gunners, or this APC, armor, what was it? LAV, a light armoured vehicle. Or in Noob's case, the lame-ass vehicle from Noob's Gaming. Lame-ass vehicle. That's an old one. I love that episode. Anyway, we'll start with the simple one, the quad bike, that is mostly seen in this game. Simply just a transport vehicle. You are able to wield your weapon at the same time as driving, although it can't be in your dominant hand. As you can see, I'm reversing at the moment. If I was to hold it my right hand on the right side grip, I'll be able to move forward. Doesn't matter where I place it. So I suppose you could always get some sort of stability holding it this way. Once you position your hand just above the crease where your hand and wrist is. It's going to be a bit hard to control since it still has that recoil issue. Whoa, why are we going forward? Easier with pistols since obviously they're going to be smaller. The recoil's not as obvious. You may see it in games like Call of Duty and the Modern Warfare campaign, where you're in the snowy area of the campaign. You have to use some sort of snow sledge. I've forgotten the name for it, but snowmobile I think it was. Simply just drive around the map, get to a good spot, let's say here, get to cover, and then that's it. You can reposition using the vehicle, you just hop on, grab the handles. Obviously you wouldn't really have the vehicle there, you probably have it behind the barricade. So we drift around the corner, get into cover, pop a couple of shots, get back into cover, maybe we'll move again, etc. That's the basics of the quad bike. As you've seen, the C4 goes on all vehicles if you want, even tanks for some reason. Let's see, I don't know what they call this, the Humvee? Reminds you of Halo. 4-seater, let's see. I don't know if you can access the back as a seat. Technically a 5-seater, I believe. You got you got the driver, 3 passenger seats, and then 1 gunner. I believe that's how it works. Let's see. One, two, three, four. Yeah, so it seems like a 5-seater, which is good. Now, if you notice it's very slow to try and turn, you want to use your right stick for faster movements. So I'm trying to aim at this barricade over here, but I'm looking this way. I'll quickly turn and then aim or fire. If you want, you can switch your aiming system, or like your look around system, to a smooth version and just have the sensitivity upwards, so it's a mixture of excuse me, it's a mixture of snap and smooth. It's a hybrid mixture essentially. You go all the way for fast movements, but if you want a more steady, you just hold it a little bit. It will accelerate based on how far you're looking, so this is the fastest it goes and this is the slowest it will go. You see the cross is slowly moving. Mainly you want to aim with the two handles, so the two controllers. And you can't aim if you're only holding one bit. You have to be holding it with both. You can't even fire if holding it with one hand. Driver, you hold with both hands. Go forward. You can hold it with one hand to have a pistol out. Or an assault rifle, I guess. You can try and do the same thing as last time, where you have your hand over the crease. Here it looks like I have it over my crease down here, but that's actually where it is. So it looks like I'm holding it on my arm, whereas this is the actual position for the arm. This is the wrist position. You want to burst fire or semi-auto fire. For some reason it will move whilst you're trying to reload. Even if you well, I say some reason. It's obviously going to move if you've got your foot on the pedal. You can hold it down here if you really wanted to. I know some people drive like that. I don't know why. I normally hold it like this. Or even like that. It is possible to hold it from the bottom. Vehicle-wise, you're still able to drive this even if you're in the gunner seat. Well, I say that. You control the main gun, which is the 20mm cannon, or the 25mm. It will be able to blow up objects in a couple of shots. Obviously, if it's buildings, it'll take a couple more shots. You press the left trigger, you'll switch to the machine gun, which is this little thing here. Just is a bit hard to try and show. You'll see it firing. So you can switch between the two. I'm on the machine gun, now I'm on the cannon. It's a fast switch. So if you want a mixture of bullets and explosions. When it comes to actually being on the vehicle, I don't know if you're sitting on top of the vehicle or if it's just a ways to see outside. It's a bit odd. Feels a bit odd. This doesn't really have a passenger seat for those that want a gun. It's mainly a transport vehicle with a gun attached to it for the driver to shoot with. This is a anti-air. This is mainly anti-air, but you can also use it against infantry if you were to move just forward a bit so we can see them. It's not very accurate long ranges. It can still work though, as you can hear. I'm just about getting some headshots. If they were closer, it would be easier to hit with. So this is the air missiles. You'll notice there's no crosshair in the middle. You're using this box here, this wide range box, to lock onto helicopters with. It won't lock onto vehicles, no matter how close or far away they are. It's only for air vehicles, and you can lock on pretty far away with the vehicles. Onto the tank. Let's just jump over this way. As you can see, you're using the tank. You have to aim, say, at this building here. You can blow off bits of the building. Takes a bit for it to reload, obviously. If you wanted to, you could always switch to the gunner seat, but that just means you're giving up the driver's seat, so someone might come and steal it. It's a two-seater seat system. So if someone is coming close, you could always switch back to the main gunner before they hop in. Just be careful of behind you, because they might hop in behind. So, we'll start with the Apache. Apache gunner. You'll notice this is the this is the gunner seat. Let's not hit ourselves. It'll shoot, let's see, 30mm. Should be able to destroy this. I'd assume it would. You aim with your head movement, not the handles. The handles are just there so you can hold it, as you can see. You won't be able to access the camera until you're holding it with both hands. So it could cause motion sickness. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Especially when you're flying around and the pilot's really fast whilst moving. So we'll move on to the actual driving seat. So, you can either go into first person flying this, or you can go into third. I'll show first person for now. To lift off, you'll want to hold this little guy. Oh, whoa. Gotta be a bit careful, it's very sensitive when flying. As you can see, I'm now in the air. I'm going to tilt off a bit. We've got a big surrounding view. You don't use the sticks on the controller to aim, you have to physically move forward to try and move. If you wanted to adjust the pitch, you'd go forward. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can I hold it with both? No. So if I was to aim, up we go. Let's say we're going to hit some of the land vehicles if we can find it. We'll just aim down here, we'll just pretend as... oh, that'll do. So as you can see, I can fire rockets that charge over time. It's very OP since there's no real ammo system. The only thing that you have to worry for is how many you fire. Whoa, calm down. I can imagine someone's going to sit at the back of the map launching these rockets. As you can see, the left trigger does the flares when you're holding this. Should be when you're holding it, I'm not too sure though. I don't believe there's a different way to fire with this. Flares, on the other hand, will have a longer cooldown just to avoid people abusing the system. You can do bombing runs, say let's bomb this building here. There we go. If we had more shots there, that would have been good. What you just heard there was the flares recharging. As you can see, if I'm over this way, I'm going to get locked on. It will tell you you're being targeted. Not the best at flying this thing. I kind of leaned forward there, that moved the stick, almost crashed. Nice little recovery there though. You don't want to be too high up in the air, say you don't exactly want to be this high, and there's a reason for that. If you're high up, you won't really be able to see anything. You'll just have to guess where they are. And two, if you're high up, it means that you're more visible to anti-air vehicles and anti-air rockets. If you're lower to the ground, you may have a chance at getting... fuck, that's way too low. If you're lower to the ground, you'll have more of a chance that you can use objects in the vicinity to lock on. Say this tower here might block it a bit. And it just means you look like you're going faster. I'm not too sure if you really are, but that's mainly the movement option. There's advanced ways to move. Let's see if we can explain one. It's more for transport helicopters now that I think about it though. If you want to lift off, I forgot to mention, I don't remember if I have mentioned this actually, but you need to lift the handle upwards. If you were to lift it lower, you just go low obviously. Shooting, very good. The explosion radius doesn't look that big, but when there's big groups of people it certainly shows. There's no machine gun by the looks of it for this version. That's a third person view. It's a bit harder to aim, and you use the this time you use the sticks, which can actually be easier to aim with or to move around with. Obviously you're not relying on you're not relying on the hand movements, the physical movements with the controller. To lower yourself or raise yourself, you're just going to use the left stick. To change the pitch or the yaw, you want to... I can't remember which and which, I believe this is pitch. That's yaw, when you're going right to left. If you want to change the pitch, you just go up or down on the stick. I would say, if you're going to aim, use first person mode, mainly. You can line up with your wheels just there, maybe. If you were to line up with the turret at the front there, you get a rough estimation as to where the rockets will land. We're gonna try and land this. Oh, never mind, that's wrong stick. Oh well. Emergency ejection is what I'm gonna call that. Let's just say we were very injured there. We had to eject, otherwise we would have been blown up. Yeah, I was meant to do that. We'll land with this little helicopter here. Oh, it's called the Little Bird. That's what I was thinking of. So, this is another aggressive helicopter. This is called the Little Bird. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's weird. Same kind of idea when it comes to movement. So, you want to use this stick here to lift. You don't want to touch this just yet. It's for all helicopters, the kind of idea. You'll notice I'm not really moving anywhere. I'm not turning. So if I was to land again, whoa, 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 softly this time. Just go in third person so it's easier to try and move. Alright, hold on. Give me a moment, I'm just going to try and land this. It's very hard to try and get an exact point to land on. I'm trying to use this. I could always just crash it and wait for it to respawn, but this should be fine. Doesn't matter if you land on the H or not. Oh, we bumped a bit. I wasn't expecting that. Very finicky. It's easier once you get more experience of this, but for the most part. With the force here, I can shoot things. Right, make sure this is at standard position. Default position. You're going to lift off. Now you're going to switch over to the handle. You're going to move around. Give yourself a place to try and get to without crashing. I don't know why I'm falling. Give yourself an area, so we're going to go this way. This is our target. We're going to fire. You'll see it's machine gun rounds. This is more like strafe runs, just like the other vehicle, the other helicopter, the Apache. The Little Bird is more like not versatile, but more fast, I'd say. You can control it a lot faster. You see, aiming's easier in first person. Oh, tell a lie, I've just shot into the ocean. When you're more experienced, it'll be easier to aim. As of now, there's no actual planes, it's mainly helicopters. Oh, it's only helicopters, to be honest. We're going to try and land this one. Not like the last one. Let's try and find a landing zone first. Okay. Let's see. One thing that comes from Armor 3, the game, is you want to try and land with your feet. So if I was to try and angle this, let's try and get it not spinning in the air. Right, we could always just let go and have it reset, I suppose. Let's just slowly get into view. We're going to lower ourselves a bit. There we go, now we can see the landing pad. It does take a moment for it to fully stop accelerating down, so just be aware that you can't instantly stop the movement. So, we see the landing pad, we're going to pull up a bit so we stop momentum. We're going to lower ourselves a bit. Let's go back a bit. We're a bit too far forward. I'm not exactly experienced, I'm just trying to imagine how VR would work when it comes to flying an armor helicopter or a squad helicopter. Right, I'm going to try and level it out. Right. I would have assumed that's altitude. That just tells you how high up in the air you are. If I land, I'm going to land with my knees, or like my legs. So I'm going to stop the movement. Come on. I'll try this in first person. Oh, third, sorry. Let's just say we'll just imagine we managed to control the landing. Right, now we're going to slowly land. We'll just imagine we're not in a fighting zone at the moment. We'll land. bit of a bumpy landing. We dismount, and we're going to wait for everyone to dismount. There's a kind of way to dismount when it comes to vehicles, like helicopters or the transport vehicles. You want to space out from the vehicle, so just in case someone hits it with a rocket. You're going to wait for everyone to eject off of the helicopter or dismount. You'll have your area covered, so say someone's going to be standing just around here. Someone's going to be behind here. Oh, I didn't even hit you. That's not my fault this time. Let's just imagine you're still here. You'll have someone standing just around this spot. You'll have someone covering this area. You'll be standing over here, and someone else will be standing here. It doesn't really matter where you're standing, just as long as you're covering a certain area, like the stairs for example, or this ramp area. This is what the transport helicopter looks like. You'll notice there's no sort of machine gun on the front. It's mainly on the sides for the passengers to use. You're just a transport helicopter. You're a transport logistics kind of player. Hop in. This is the main cockpit. I'm not sure if they call it that for helicopters, but seat wise, you've got the gunner seats over this way. If we were to switch, these are the passenger seats. Engineers can sit back here and heal it. See, simple. You use the same kind of idea with the Humvee. You look around and you do small adjustments to the actual controllers. Same for this side. This is the co-pilot seat. Doesn't really do much, but you can shoot out the windows. You can even shoot rockets. You can see, as long as you don't hit the vehicle, it probably won't blow up. You're doing strafing runs, that'll be good. Especially if the pilot here is in assault, who can give you ammo. Main part of this though is the driver's seat. Same idea, always going to be the same kind of thing. You're going to want to make sure you're aligned properly first. Handle. This is mainly for right-handed people, considering the left hand you use for adjustments when lifting off. Steps. First step, lift off. Make sure you're at a good height. Start moving. Watch out for any objects in the air so you don't crash. Like that. Now we're at 50 health. If we were to repair, we can't repair by the cockpit by the looks of it. Let's say our landing point is the... let's see, just down there where I'm looking. We'll go first person. It'll be easier to see. In a way. We're gonna slowly turn. We're gonna just get a bit further away so we can turn around, get more of a area. Return. That's our landing point, just near those buildings. Okay, let go of that so we don't pitch ourselves. We can try and use the windows to look just to our side. Will probably make some people motion sick. Most of these helicopters will do that, or if not all. We're going to cause it to go to a stop. You can see that circle there. It tells you kind of like a dead zone on a controller. It'll let you know if you're drifting. Honestly, I'd recommend trying to land in third person. You get more of a view that way. Landing in first is just way more harder than it seems. As you can see, I'm just going to tilt the right stick forward a bit, and then position myself so I'm on the road. Land. Ever so lightly. Ever so softly. And touchdown. That way we can dismount. If there's anyone nearby, we can do a hot dismount, which is what I'll show you now. Let's say we lift ourselves up into the air. We're going third person, so it's easier to land, and it's more view. You can even look around whilst you're flying. Let's turn around. We'll practice a hot run or hot dismount. Say if you're getting shot at, you want to land quickly. You want to make sure you're closer to the ground when you're doing this. Let's say we're going to land up this hill bit, this small hill, just where the road is. You're going to quickly have the helicopter move forward. You're going to adjust so it doesn't go too far off. You'll land sideways most of the time. Not sideways on the vehicle, but quickly land. Doesn't seem like it has junky physics. Quickly land, everyone can hop out, then you can quickly take off afterwards. But just go in like this. Come on. You have to wait for it to load up if you hop out. Quickly move. Everything's quick about this. You'll turn a bit to get more speed if you need to. I believe that's how this works. Or you can just tilt very far down, try and get the blades to propel you forward. That's mainly it for the helicopters. I don't believe there's anything else. I suppose you could roll in the air, but that's more silly. Whee! Very odd. Something that's more of a showman thing to do. If you're very high up in the air, you can even see if you can do a full 360. You have to be very high in the air though, I'd say. Just to give yourself more of a chance. Hopping out, dismounting wise, once you hop out, say if you're injured, you have to hop out, make sure you're in the playing zone, fall a little bit, then quickly grab the handles here for the parachute. Get a good landing spot, we'll land here for some cover. Let's say if we're actually here, we can just aim out a bit. You won't know where you're firing since this is blind firing. It gives you the most cover essentially. You'll hear some dinks or some headshots when you're doing this. If you want a bit of vision, you can just slowly peek out. So it'll expose only like, say, the gun and your hand, maybe a bit of your head. Yeah, a bit of your head. It's only a tiny bit. I believe that's everything. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to respond. Gun safety 101. For the most part, this is everything you need to know for all classes. There may be some things that I missed. Please let me know in the comments. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.